In this video, I'm going to show you how to use Powtoon. Powtoon is used to create animated videos and presentations. I've been using it for a couple years now, and I'm going to share with you some of my tips and tricks that I've learned along the way with my classes. So let me scroll down to the bottom of this page and show you an example Powtoon. I'll click on this one called the Redundancy Effect.
We've all been through it before. You know, one of those presentations where you'd rather take a bullet than read another bullet point on a slide? Turns out it's not your fault, or even the presenter's fault for that matter. It's actually because our brains are hardwired in a certain way, and unless you're a psychologist or a researcher, you would never know these 4 scientific reasons why our brains reject bullet points. Lucky for you, after watching this, you'll also know exactly how to make your presentations awesome. Let's get started.
Okay, so if you're curious how that movie ends, it's on their homepage under explainer videos, the redundancy effect. But the point of that is you can see that the presentation moves along fairly quickly. It keeps you engaged by using more visuals than bullet points. And that's what we're going to attempt to try to do. So we're going to go ahead and log in to Powtoon now. So let's go ahead and go to www.powtoon.com in your favorite web browser. Click the login button in the upper right hand corner. And in my classes, we sign in with Google. So this helps you avoid having to remember yet another username and password. So we're going to use our Google sign-ins. And since I've been in here several times, mine goes automatically. You're going to get a pop-up that says, would you like to allow for Google sign-in? Go ahead and click allow, and it's going to make your life a little easier. So in the middle of the screen, we've got our create button if we want to get started. This is called our dashboard, so this is where all of my saved Powtoons are. So let's go ahead and create one from scratch. I'm going to click the blue create button right here. And you're going to see a bunch of templates that can get us started. You can also preview these. For instance, if I want to do like Mr. Show right here, I could click Mr. Show and it'll preview it for me, and if I really like it, I can click the go button. Perhaps I didn't like this one. Maybe I want to try out marker, and I could play this. This one has music with it, so let me just show you the introduction of it. Okay, and I could keep going. Now, some of these do have a banner, like this one says Business Edition, and this one says Pro. That means that you would need to have that type of an account. You'd have to upgrade from the free account to the business or to the pro account to use those templates. So let's just use the free ones, and the top left one is blank. So let's show you how to make one from scratch. I'm going to click the go button, which will set up the blank Powtoon. So now that Powtoons is loaded, let's give ourselves a quick tour around the screen, and I'm going to point out the main aspects. So in the middle we've got our stage. This is where the presentation will play out as we develop it. But down below is what I have seen most students have to learn to become accustomed to, and that's the timeline. So the timeline is going to control the layout of how things work together in our animation. So for example, if I were to click on this guitar player guy, he has his own little sub timeline here. So these little handlebars at the end of each end of the timeline, I can move these back and forth. So this will be the ending of this guitar player on the timeline, and this will be the beginning of it. So I can make him last as little or as long as I want by pulling these to the right or to the left. So right now he comes in at 1 second and he exits at 4 seconds. And the way that they come in, the entrance can be controlled by these buttons. So this button right here, I could say I want him to pop up, and then I want him to exit to the right. So I can change the way that he'll come in and out of this scene. Let me go ahead and play this right now. I'm going to click this button right here. You can see him come up, and then he'll exit to the right. at the appropriate time. Now, because he's not on the scene, if I needed to get back to editing him, beneath the timeline is the icon. So I can go ahead and click on this. It'll move the playhead back into where the guitar player is, or where this particular icon exists, and then I can continue editing him. Maybe I want him to exit a little sooner, maybe at 3 seconds. Maybe I want to change him to fading out, and then I can retry it. So there he is coming up, and then he'll fade out. So if I were to add more elements onto this, I'm going to have additional timelines, and perhaps I would even have some of them overlap. So let me go ahead and add the girl guitar player in here. And if I toggle between these two timelines here, so this guitar player here is overlapping the girl player, so I'm going to need to move her to, let's say, 4 seconds so that they're not conflicting. And then I'm going to shorten up that timeline as well. And let's see, I had him fading out, so let's have her fade in as well. So I'm going to go ahead and click on her, and we'll make her fade in, and maybe exit to, yeah, sure, we'll leave it at left. So let's go ahead and play this and see how that comes out. So he pops in, he fades out, she fades in, and she'll exit to the left. Okay, so now that we have a couple of characters on the stage, I can see how those are arranged. Maybe I would shorten up this scene so it would last just long enough to include both of them. So I'll make this, say, 7 seconds. And now let's go ahead and duplicate this scene. So I'm going to make that happen again. So on scene 2, and I know scene 2 is selected because it has the blue border, has the same elements as the first scene. And up here it's telling me the total time for my movie is about 14 seconds. So perhaps we would want to add some sound. So let's go ahead and click the sound button. And under the sound manager, I can add a music track. I could add my own little voiceover. So if I did want to add perhaps an explainer or some sort of voiceover to this, I'm just going to click the record button. It's going to record my voice, and then I can apply it to that track. So there is a genre drop-down box. So if I wanted something like happy, I can preview anything that's in green. Anything that's grayed out, I would have to upgrade my account for. So we can pick all the green ones in here. So let's try Day at the Beach. Okay, and I can preview more, but if I like that one, I can click Add and then click Apply, and you'll see the squiggly lines go over top of my timeline here. So if I were to play this scene from the beginning, you'll hear the music pop in. Okay, in between scenes are transitions. So if I were to scroll down my list here, I could get down to transitions in between. And let's show a few more of these. Let's scroll down. Perhaps that's all I have. You can see a preview of what the transitions look like. So here, let me go ahead and click on that one. And it says zoom out and down. So if I move to the end of this scene, I should see this scene zoom out and down before it starts the next scene. And there it is. All right, it was super quick. So let me change it here to this one, zoom out and down. Oh, wrong one. I gotta make sure I have this selected. This will be out and to the right. Let me see if I like that. There we go. All right, so that's a transition effect. And of course, you've got all the kind of stage props and whatnot that are in here. If I didn't like this theme, I could change the theme up here and check out other themes and other stuff to make. The text effects, let's go ahead and add one of those. I'm going to go ahead and add another scene. Actually, I'm going to make a blank one. And let's go ahead and add this handwriting effect. So if here I just put in thanks for watching and then click apply, we can go ahead and preview this. Go ahead and preview. All right, that only took about 2.5 seconds, so maybe I want this to only last that long. And I'll perhaps center this in the middle. All right, so now if I were to go ahead and play this from this scene forward, it's going to play my guitar player, have the girl fade in, and then say thanks for watching. Okay, so that kind of shows you how all of these elements are used together. And one last thing, and that's up here, you can name your Powtoon in this box. So I'll just call this example. And once again, make sure that you're clicking the save button pretty frequently. All right, so that's pretty much it for Powtoon. If you have a classroom account, you can join a class and they're automatically turned in. If you're using a free account, you can share it with the share button over here and send it to whoever you want to. So, okay, thanks for watching.